Peace, love, blessings. What's going on? This is Stolen Drums. Once again, another week, another conversation. It's Controllerized. We had a Zoom chat set up, and due to technical difficulties, unfortunately, the speakers weren't available this week. So we're gonna have to cut it short, unfortunately. But before we do, I just wanted to say a couple things real quick. I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, Alan Thomas, and we were talking about what we could do right now. So versus, what we need to do, trying to delete that word from the vocabulary, what we need to, or that phrase, I should say. I'm also trying to delete the phrase or the word they from the vocabulary. So if we're talking about somebody, be specific. And if we're talking about a thing, be actionable. Anyway, so what can we do now? And I know a lot of folks, feel away at the moment. A lot of people have a certain type of energy at the moment, and it's definitely understandable. I feel the same way, and for a lot of folks. But what you can do now, and what I suggest folks do now, is read, get educated, understand history, right? Look at the history of the presidency, look at the history of the police, look at the history of the country, understand, some of the reasons why we may be sitting in the situation that we're in. Arm yourselves, there's Second Amendment right for the U.S. for everybody to have. Could bear arms, take advantage of that right. Educate yourself on how to use a weapon, how to protect yourself and your family, so you don't have any kind of crazy mistakes. But, protect yourself. We're in an interesting time, and if you're an adult in said time, I think it's important that you know how to protect yourself in as many ways as possible. But yeah, so educate yourself consistently, constantly. Read as many books as you can. If you're in the Discord, there's a lot of books available to you. Watch content, but just know the content is edited. It's changed from the narrative that it started with, so it can be put in the screen for you to see. So if you watch a documentary, there's a lot of good information in the documentary for sure, but they edited that documentary. They changed it. They made it do things so it looked right on screen, So the message was truncated, it was changed, it was massaged. It's not what was written. It's definitely two different things. Another thing you can do is we can weaponize information. And you see evidence of that if you look at how, let's say, conservatives are using content to push messages. There's a website, it's called Breitbart. And a lot of conservative views are based on, at least more extreme conservative views, stuff that we see now from like the alt-right and Tea Party and people like that. Stuff is kind of coming from that website, that space. But if you look at the way they generate content and look at the way things like Blackout Tuesday may have weaponized hashtags, that type of stuff, those type of tools are available to us. And I'm not saying do this in a negative way. But these are opportunities to educate for folks that aren't educated. So when people are talking about, say the president wanted to do his rally on Juneteenth in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and, plans have changed obviously at the moment, but that hashtag, whatever one it is that's attached to him, is a great opportunity to attach information about why those two things are so important, both Juneteenth and Tulsa, Oklahoma, We have access to the internet right now, and who knows how long we will, but while we do have access, use it, take advantage. Again, we can use hashtags just like anybody else can. Just think about it when you do. There's definitely an opportunity to educate. So if it's a conservative hashtag, that's an audience that would see said content that normally wouldn't. So think about using those type of hashtags. Another thing you can do right now is enjoy life. It's this stuff that we see on social media, on these little screens all the time. It gets heavy. It's intentionally polarizing. It's intentionally extreme. It's intentionally, it's to evoke emotion and get response. And the more emotion and response that you get, the more rewarded you are via algorithm, et cetera, et cetera. So my suggestion would be, to take some time off if you can. You want to be connected and you want to be aware, but take some time off, man. Don't be stuck on the screen too long. Get around real people. Have real conversations. Have conversations with people that aren't like you, that don't have the same beliefs as you. Civilized conversations, you know. But understand that point of view. And if there's an opportunity to teach, teach. And there's an opportunity to learn, learn. But have those conversations. Be humans. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm going to get out of here. Apologies for this being so short. Like I said, we had some technical difficulties. We weren't able to get all the speakers lined up like we should have. And I take responsibility for that. And, you know, I'm going to try and do my best to make sure the next week this doesn't happen again. But yeah, y'all be safe out there. If you're in the streets, be safe. Look up your local, you know, bail funds. And if you haven't already hopped on the Discord, please do that. Take care of each other. Love each other. It's important, man. We're all humans at the end of the day. Make sure that when we speak about the challenge, that we understand the difference between, say, racism and white supremacy. They're not the same thing. They don't work the same way. They weren't implemented for the same reasons. Those are two very distinct, very different conversations that we need to make sure we keep that in mind. Stay in the fight. If you're a man, protect your woman. If you're a woman, protect your man. I'm out of here. Love. You know, life is still good. Time is still precious. Make somebody smile because that's wavy. I wish y'all the best. Stay safe. See you in a minute. Peace.